If you want to be forever young, you have to do young things. Angie Weihs is known for her unique styling and innovative viewpoints. She wraps brands and products into inspiring stories, mini movies, and vlogs. She published hundreds of journalistic articles and a book on experimental theater. As a passionate city girl, she often shoots her outfits in alleyways and street art environments. Her favorite platform is Instagram, IGTV, followed by the Ageless Rebel blog, and Pinterest. Her upcoming book is Diva Dismantled. When outfits talk, magic happens. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Wendi Cooper Show, Speaking of Age. This is where I have conversations with remarkable people over 50. Today, my guest and I actually had a 2-hour conversation, and we did that on Zoom because we are both in lockdown over as we all are, because of the coronavirus. It is April 3rd, I think, the day that I am recording this, 2020. So most of us have nothing else to do but listen to some awesome content. And that's what you've got today with Angie Weihs. She's known as the Ageless Rebel Magic on Instagram. She posts every day, and every day she has a different outfit that she has created, and that has a story. I so admire this woman. I came to know her because of Instagram and because of our over 60 community and tribe that happens on Instagram. And we became friends because we both live in Los Angeles. She is an amazing human being. Her background is in journalism, in theater, in construction, in wedding planning, in being a single mother. She comes from Germany, and she lives here in Los Angeles, as I said, alone and in Silver Lake, where she walks her dog every day with a hat on. She doesn't want to get the coronavirus on her hair. But anyway, for me, she is just the most confident, creative, amazing woman that I have met in a very, very long time. And I wanted to share with you the magic that we captured the other day in the interview on Zoom. And so I took the liberty of editing this conversation so that you would get the magic that happened and you would get it really concisely. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a little bit.
Who wrote that? It sounded really good. Through my whole life, there were always outfits that made me do things or helped me to do things, or looking back, told me a story which so often I did not understand at the time. But now, when I went into my wardrobe to tell people, don't spend money and waste more and don't shop more, go into your wardrobe and find something you can make creatively new. It might be an old dress. Just rip it to shreds and put it back together.
In creating a new outfit, she's always looking for things that inspire her. What inspired me was the latest blog that she wrote about being in the COVID-19 situation, being alone, being scared. So I would like to read that to you so that you understand where all of this is really generating from. Living inside, Epiphanies from my wardrobe. We need smiles, my friends and followers commented on Instagram. I needed my smile badly myself, as I was suffocated by fear of COVID-19, which was possibly already causing my weirdly scratchy throat. I didn't want to hold my breath counting to 10 again, and went for a happy-making distraction. Creative styling is my thing. Outfits are my gurus. I dove into the past of my wardrobe to revamp dresses I did not wear anymore, making them more me. The goal was to inspire the eco-conscious action of shopping in our closets and revamping what we own instead of adding to landfills and buying more stuff. The planet needs us to be better. Woke fashion is the trend. Like often, I didn't style with a plan, rather let the outfit find me. In 3 years of hands-on fashion explorations, I discovered that my life was not just set up like a screenplay, where locations, supporting actors, and even my opponents played their perfect roles. I also had an inner wardrobe stylist. I took some scissors, I cut, rematched, I had a giggle, and let myself be drawn to tops and boots and bags. At the end of the video, as my next one will be about storytelling outfits, I asked, what does this revamp tell me about myself? The vibe of these 3 outfits was so similar. I had an epiphany. You're telling me I have style.
2 passions in my life, writing and outfits. And actually through writing my memoir, which was a memoir about my rebellions through my life and what they got me positively and in which mess they got me in. So being an ageless rebel now has a long history. So have my outfits. I realized that I always say my life's like a movie where everything is written like in a screenplay, and I can, when I go back, see how all these scenes and locations and supporting actors, how they all make sense. And then I realized, while I was doing my fashion journey for a year or 2 now, exploring and discovering outfits and their feelings and the vibrations of colors and the stories that started to tell me more and more, I realized that I don't only have an inner movie director who, my soul, if you want, who makes me do things and go to places and meet certain people like you. I have an inner wardrobe stylist. As an explorer and a rebel, I always thought, I don't have a style. Why would you want to have a style? It's limiting, it's putting you in a box, and I'm all about getting out of the box and getting everybody to expand and have fun and play dress up and see more. For me, the word more is really important. I like it much better than the word woke. So when I looked at these, I took scissors and I cut a couple of pieces into 2 or 3 and put them back together in a different way. And I realized after I looked at my photos, and that is what Instagram always does to me. When I post things, I realize what I had actually done, because I have to explain and show to people what this means to me. And then I understand what it means to me, right? So I looked at these 3 dresses and I thought, oh my God, they are the same. Not the same, but they are similar in their vibration and their style. They were all princess dresses with a rebel touch. And so I had thought in my whole journey of learning about myself in these outfits that I had become the queen of my life. The woman, the wise woman. When in our age, we are queens, we are not princesses, right? So we are confident and we walk our truth. And so I was the queen, I'm putting my crown on, and now I realize I'm not the queen. I'm not that wise, serene, peaceful woman. I am still a rebel and a princess. But the difference was that before they were fighting. I never wanted to be the girly girl and the princessy girl. And pink was really something I hated. And I was a rebel in black and swords and stuff, right? So they were fighting. And now in this journey of 3 years, they have become friends. And that was such a cool epiphany for me to see that they are friends and that I can now say there is a queen of my life. That is my soul who knows. She has the wisdom and I can now trust that she will guide me because I have seen how many times through my life I was actually guided. So my rebel and my princess, they can now play. They can play together. They can do their thing. They can save the world and they can have fun with other women. And they serve my queen. They serve my bigger purpose. It was such a cool epiphany, and that's stuff I find in my wardrobe.
You have to admit that is cool. Angie continues in her blog. Presenting my outfits on social media was not without challenges. The journey saw me stumble over my feet, not to be relatable or cringe under voices from the past of being too much. Again, emotional band-aids and spiritual showers were my best friends. My fashion adventures drew a roadmap through my queendom, a space made of my thoughts, visions, and actions, where I tore down borders inside and out. The amazing people who lived in it or just visited my world like tourists colored what was black and white and pointed their flashlights into the corners I had ignored. As a reward, they received power tokens, gifts to show to others in their own worlds. I arrived in Act 3, entering the stage of Queen, the empowered, wise, empathetic, and benevolent queen. I was surely old enough to be one. I adjusted my tiara, ready to rule. Epiphany number 2. You're not a queen. My 3 girly outfits said, you are a rebel princess.
But see, there are so many messages already in there. Why you feel drawn to certain outfits or colors, or why you, especially I think, why you dislike certain outfits. When I started this journey, I stepped into outfits which I knew they were so not me. And I just wanted to try it out. So I tried out at the time, really, I didn't like the girly girl. I didn't like the elegant woman. And so I tried these things and I thought, wow, this is me too. And I found those parts of me which I had neglected or hated, and I could live them because that also made me judge other women much less. And I'm German; we like to be judgmental. So this was such a deep, beautiful breath of letting go of all these judgments, and at the same time feeling so many more new things in my life, right?
Can you imagine? It's so fascinating. It's so a wonderful thing about being a producer is that when I go back to the content and I really listen and I extract the things that just touch my heart. It's the reason that I wanted to take this podcast and make it into almost the story of Angie Weihs. Because the other day during this conversation, I learned so much about this woman. And I learned so much about myself. And I really learned a lot about my wardrobe because it is pretty darn boring. So how do we transform ourselves? What do we do? How do we become more confident? How do we take the history that is in our wardrobes, right? Think about your dresser and your drawers and your closet and what's in there? I mean, let's face it, what's in there and how can it improve our lives? So it's so much fun. You got to hear more about how Angie can help us understand what's really living in our closet.
One of the questions is what makes you feel comfortable? Is it that because it's comfy in a physical way, it's soft and warm and cozy, or because is it comfortable because you are feeling that you're always doing this and it's safe? Is it safety? Or is it that you feel, is it a rut really, or a laziness? So the other question would be, what makes us really happy? When I am super happy in an outfit, it aligns with my feelings of the day, perhaps, or with my soul in a bigger picture. So when I was in these princess rebel dresses, I was so happy. I could have kissed the whole world, and unfortunately now we cannot do that anymore. But this was me. These clothes said, yes, this is your vibe. So I think when we go, one of the things I do with people, I let them start with an inventory of what they actually have. So if you go into your wardrobe and you look around, what colors are predominant? What styles are predominant? Why did you choose these styles? What history do they have? Were they your choice? Were they the choice of your boss, of your family, of your expectancy of your husband? What is the history of these clothes? And when you look at your wardrobe, is there something you feel really emotionally happy about? Is there something that draws you? And when you, and maybe the opposite also, something where you think, oh, I really, really hate this. So when you step into these clothes with your whole being and feel it out, and maybe close your eyes and just feel what it wants to tell you, why you love it or why you hate it. I think that is one of the first steps to see how much of you is really in your wardrobe.
How much of you is really in your wardrobe? Maybe that's something you're going to go do after you finish listening to the rest of the episode. So I want to continue with Angie's blog. We left off at Epiphany number 2. It was more than not being there yet. The fully empowered woman, successful author, wealthy owner of Portuguese quintas, I hope I said that right, and French castles. It was not just missing the promised crown jewels. I had never felt grown up anyway. I have no clue what it means to arrive, because each time I did, it turned out just to be a stop, not a landing. I was and am always reaching for my full potential. Epiphany number 3. Not ready made me miss opportunities, but not done yet. Not settling in for good is my power. I'm searching, finding, experimenting. I'm in flow and flux. It's my elixir of eternal youth, wrinkles or not. A queen doesn't giggle, isn't frilly, funky, girly, or silly. A queen doesn't have bruised knees. I fell twice trying out the new heights of my teeny bopper plateaus. Platforms, I think is what she was saying. I'm okay with still needing a box of Band-Aids. My empowerment is to own the rebel and the princess, and to accept serving my queen. Let's call her my essence or my soul.
It's really an empowering journey to step into clothes that we find to something in whatever spectrum. For me, it was I was always feeling guilty to be sexy. And that has a long story, which in my particular case goes back 700 years into medieval times, where I have memories of being a courtesan. And that is all in my book, right? But it is something that structures my life. And it came back in my mother, who was super religious and afraid of anything having to do with sex, who gave me a lot of fears in that respect. So I am a sexy person. I love to be fun and show my vibrancy, but I always felt guilty about it. So when I was over 60, stepped into a short, tight snake dress, strapless, and saw myself in the mirror and thought, oh my God, I heard all the voices. God, Angelica, how can you do something like this? And I looked at myself and said, this is pretty. I love this. And it was like my whole body tickled, it's like, yes, I am okay. And I am 60 and I can be sexy. And even, and especially now. And because of that ageism and that I had to fight against that, I actually became more powerful and more confident than I have ever been. Looking at my life from the perspective of my wardrobe. So, what happened when, and what was I wearing, like on the red carpet. What are you wearing today? And why did it make you kick your husband? Or, it's all the stories from the perspective. It's a totally new perspective, and I thought that was really fun. And I was a writer and a journalist in the beginning of my career, and I thought book writing is really easy because, I did hundreds and hundreds of journalistic stories, but to be a literary writer is so different. So it took me much longer than I thought to finish this book. And then, of course, I did all the outfit stories, and that also took a lot of time, and to make the vlogs and IGTVs about my journeys. But in the end, I think we have to believe also in one important sentence, which my life coach a couple of years ago gave me. She said, time is an illusion, but timing is everything. So the patience and confidence to know that your inner guidance, the director, will lead you to the right moment and the right time. And when my book comes out, hopefully in June, that will be the right time. Now I thought, oh my God, it's coronavirus time. I cannot even go on a book tour. I cannot do anything with my book. I cannot go on stages and do my performance, which I had planned on. And that is reinvention again and again and again. We are maybe prepared for this particular time because we over 50, 60, we are in reinventing times since quite a while, right? We have to find this new power somewhere. And this is what the whole world now has to do. We had a little bit extra training for this, right? And still, I fell into the whole fear and had to pull myself out. And I pulled myself out through things, giving to others. This story about Epiphanies, these clothes I was making were for my people on Instagram. It wasn't really for me, it was for them. But when I'm doing it for them, I'm doing it for myself. So those are always these tiny little epiphanies, is to see that when you're giving, you are actually serving yourself as much as others.
They say that epiphanies are little bursts of awareness that are so much bigger than ourselves, but seem so little, but yet have such a big result. So an epiphany can affect everyone, even though it belongs to yourself. That's why I feel that this blog that was written on March 24th was so important to focus on. It really gave me the ability to let Angie shine. So let's finish it up with her epiphany number 4. I have learned to trust the bigger picture of me. I let my soul own the throne for another decade or so. Or forever, who knows? I stay here curious, explorer girl, and fierce rebel. Her sidekicks, the messenger, and the mission doing her bidding. Personal freedom comes from getting to know our truth and owning who we are right now. If you'd like to play in your isolation chamber, inspect your wardrobe. What does it tell you about yourself? Which colors, styles dominate it? Is that really how you feel about yourself? If you were a casting director, would you hire for those clothes? Make a pile of outmoded clothes Before you toss or sell them, take a scissors and safety pins, a needle and a thread, and any accessories you fancy and make them into something new. A style more you. Make it like a sketch. Avoid the need for perfection. Let it be like curious, innocent child. Play, and your outfit creation might surprise you.
One of the most important things in my life is what I call magic, and that means that we are more than the roles we play, more than the mother, the businesswoman, the bossy chick. We are so much more. We have that inner guidance, and that makes us so much bigger. Remember this old Marianne Williamson quote where she said, "We are not afraid to be mediocre. We humans are really afraid to be grand." And the great of us is not in the outside and what we have and what, our status. It's really, the greatness comes from being able to listen to our true selves. And funny enough, outfits help me to do that. I would never have thought 3 years ago that I would put so much value into our second skin, but it has so many levels. And you asked me about what can we do for others. It's, when you look at the outside, what you're wearing, from there you can go inside. And then when you are at the inside and you find who you are, you can then take your clothes and make them tell the world who you are. So it's this beautiful dance, this beautiful circle that you then can use your clothes to get what you want, to be the art you truly are.
To be the art you truly are. I just love that. Angie, I think you're awesome. And I hope you enjoyed this edited version of our very long conversation. If anybody wants to get a hold of Angie, that is Angie Weihs, WEIHS, AngieWeihs.com, Ageless Rebel Magic on Instagram, and I believe you just find everything on her website under AngieWeihs.com. So I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you all for staying home. I want to thank Tom Orsi of Orsi Digital Post for his help and his beautiful music that I just, I'm sitting inside and I have this craving to learn how to just make beautiful stuff. So I did a try and I hope you liked it. Until then, stay healthy, stay well, stay home. The Wendi Cooper Show is produced by C-Spot Run Productions. You can reach Wendi at wendycooper.com, wendycooper@mac.com. Thanks for listening.